Hey, well, I'm out here, anchored in Liberty Harbor, just outside Poolsbo, Washington, and it is gorgeous. There are one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, more boats than I can really count, anchored around us. Yesterday was the first time I've ever anchored this boat, or really any boat. And there's a guy in a dinghy just coming across right here. Um, and so, uh, it was scary. Anytime I do something for the first time, I'm afraid I'm going to do it wrong. And the more that seems to be on the line, the more fear I feel. And so, sure, I was terrified, if I'm being honest about it. I pulled in. We left the linear dock at the Poolsbo Marina, about half a mile that way, and raced to find a spot where there was enough room around me that I could drop the hook, and if the anchor dragged, we wouldn't immediately be on some other boat. I wanted a lot of extra buffer room around me to give my inexperience some elbow room. And of course, it was well, I was about to swear, but it didn't go well at first. Um, my son Evander is operating the windlass and the dropping the hook, and I'm back on the wheel. Thing is, our anchor chain keeps kind of binding up when it's coming out of the anchor of the chain locker. The windlass really sticks and doesn't turn well. There's a lot of stuff going on there. I need to work on. And so it took a while to get the anchor to actually hit the bottom, even though we're only 10 feet of water. It took a while to get 10 feet of chain out. And then I was trying to do, it was 10 feet because it was extreme low tide, but the tide was going to go up by 11 and a half feet. So I based the scope or length of the chain I let out on what the high tide depth would be, which would be, I was calculating it at 22 feet or 21 feet. And so we let out 100 feet of chain, or at least that was the goal, 5 to 1. And the thing is, it took so long that just while we're dropping the hook, waiting for it to hit the seabed, even though I'm trying to hold position, the wind and current and everything, the tide was changing, just kept moving us around. And so we had to pick the hook up before I got it all the way down and motor up a little ways and try again because I just kept getting pushed back onto this other boat. And that went on for a while. Eventually, we got the hook down onto the seabed, which is nice thick mud around here, so it holds really well. And then started getting out some of the chain, and eventually, nowhere near where I had hoped to be, we were able to get the hook dug into the seabed, the boat not able to move backwards anymore, and felt really confident in that we weren't going to drag the anchor in the middle of the night. So we made our own anchor bridle out of some 3/8 line. Did a It's called a prusik. It's where you go around through a couple of times, and then ran each line out to a forward cleat, and then let out some extra chain. So the motion, the yanking of the boat is held by the nylon rope, and then the chain is there for the weight. And I mean, I'm really proud of how both of us did. Evander is just like me, which means we're both get really angry really quickly in a stressful situation and start yelling and stuff. And we both managed to avoid doing that despite how stressful and everything that moment was. And I'm sure once we've done it a few times, it won't be stressful at all. Because, I mean, really, there's plenty of room. The anchor held really well because it's a thick, muddy bottom. Like, this should be the least stressful anchorage ever. That's why we came here, specifically because it should be the easiest. But, doing something new fills me with stress and fear. So, anyway, we did it, dropped the hook, dug in well, And here we are. I've got a sailboat maybe 150, 200 feet off on the port side at the moment, and another boat maybe 500 feet or so off on the starboard. But we're all in motion as the wind and the currents change. And so we are in the process of swinging this way, kind of everyone's rotating in a counterclockwise direction at the moment. So in a little while, that boat will be on this side. They will change sides. Um, and I will be looking that way. But, sorry. Uh, but we did it, and it's awesome. And had a great night on the anchor, which is so good. Now, it was a very calm night, no wind, and there was no reason to be alarmed or concerned about the anchor pulling. But you know, this is a new thing, and I'm nervous, and Evander's nervous. And so we decided to do a full 24/7 anchor watch the whole time we're on anchor here. Even if it isn't necessarily needed, good practice for when it is, I guess. So I was on from 6 p.m. to midnight, and then I got to sleep from midnight to 6 a.m. And then I was on again from, it's now 6 a.m. to I don't know what time it is, 9:30 right now, maybe, so 10 a.m., something like that. But at noon, I get to stop being on anchor watch again. And man, I mean, the boat didn't, I mean, it just kind of slowly rotated like all the other boats around here. There really, no one had to actually be awake. I've got little anchor alarms set on phones and stuff. So if we actually did move outside the radius of a circle I defined, alarms would go off and wake us up. But we did the anchor watch, and it was tough. You know, I didn't get to go to sleep till midnight, which doesn't sound that late, but for me it is. We've been on the boat, which means getting up early, going to bed early. So I'm eating these caffeine candies and trying to stay awake uh, until midnight without making too much noise because Evander's trying to get some sleep in before his shift. And I made it for no reason though. I mean, the boat barely moved. It was so calm. I mean, there was no wind. It was just dead. It was so nice. I mean, you could hear the little seals. There's harbor seals around here, and you could hear them breathing just like right outside your cabin. And then I popped my head out the hatch, and they were just literally right there, you know. And sometimes they were far away. You could still, anyway. It was a thing. But yeah, so midnight, I got to go back to, I got to get some sleep, and 6 a.m. I get up to switch with Evander. He's been up all night, you know, and you know, it's still dead. Like right now, there's no wind. There's no, I mean, there's maybe one knot of breeze tops. It's just, it doesn't even count. So that's okay. We're doing the watches. So at 6 a.m., I said to Evander, I said, "Hey man, we didn't really need to be awake all night. You know, it's been so calm." And he said, "Yeah, it was, but I feel better doing it," which makes sense. So I kind of, I wouldn't say I went back to sleep at 6 a.m. when it was my turn, but I wasn't really paying very close attention because the boat's just not going anywhere right now. If it started getting windy, it might be different, but anyway, it's a gorgeous day out there. But Evander's asleep, which I don't blame him. And yeah, I'm not going to do anything to make any noise until he's awake. But then once we're both fully awake, we've got to get the dinghy in the water, get the motor and battery down into the dinghy, take it out for a little test spin, and maybe run some of this garbage onto shore and get some more drinking water and run a few errands. Yeah, this is awesome. We put we stayed on a mooring ball for a couple of nights over at Blake Island, and it was just like this, you know, quiet, peaceful, no one around. Yeah, there might be a boat here and there, but far enough away that, you're not seeing each other, hearing each other's conversations or anything. And it was really nice. And I could have stayed on that mooring ball forever, except it's a pretty unprotected place that we were in. If there was wind from the north, we were okay, but anything coming in from the south, it was just, you started getting standing waves breaking over the boat. It was not good. And, okay, exaggerate, maybe not breaking over the boat, but breaking into the boat. And, yeah, so when the wind shifted to the south, I didn't want to stick around and see how bad it could get. So we dropped the ball and motored up to Poolsbo. My goal getting here was to get on anchor and then fix the reefing system on the boom of this sailboat. But I still don't really know exactly, I don't have a firm laid out plan for how I'm going to do that. I have 2 blocks. These are mountable like pulleys basically that I'm going to put on the side of the boom, one for each reefing point. But I need to install them on the boom. I need to figure out the best place to install them on the boom. I need to give them cleats so you can cleat a reefing line off so I can run a line from around the boom, tied on a bowline, let's say, up the sail to a reefing point, back down the sail, or more like at an angle, to the block for that reefing point, where I can then pull the reefing line, which will give it both downward and backward sort of force. So it's sort of like an out haul with downward as well. And that should pull the clew or the leech end of the sail. Sorry, all these sailing terms are new and there's a lot of them. Out, creating tension. When you're reefing the sail, you're trying to make it flat as well. You're not trying to have as much shape in it as you do when it's a full main. And so it's just important to have the block and the cleat and everything just right so that it's safe and easy for us to put in or take out a reef. And it's just going to take a little more brain power, I think. And I had been told to come up to Poolsbo. There's a jet ski pulling 1, 2, 4 kids on, well, it looks like inner tubes. Oh man, looks fun. Yeah, it's a Saturday in the summer up here in Washington. So the guy at the marina told me that it's going to fill up today and be full of people enjoying the water and lots of boats and lots of kids and that sounds fine to me. I mean, there are definitely times when I want some privacy and some solitude, but a Saturday right after school is over for a Saturday during school summer vacation in an epically beautiful bay is not when I expect to get privacy. So yeah, I was told to come up to Poolsbo because there's a great marine supply store here, which is true, and that there was some people working there who were like rigging experts who could maybe help me figure out exactly what to buy and where to place it on the boom to do this. That was the part that wasn't true. I went over, employees there, awesome. And prices are very good. They're sort of like a new and used, primarily used store for boating stuff. And yeah, I was really happy. I am going to be buying another anchor from them, I think, as soon as I figure out if it'll fit on this bow roller. But anyway, so here I am. Turns out I didn't need to go to the store because all the hardware I needed was in a drawer on the boat. And when I went to the store, no one there was able to really help me with figuring out how to do the rigging. So now my plan is to keep researching it online and move the boat up to Port Townsend, which is about a 7.5-hour motor away from here. Might be a little faster if the wind is just right and I sail, but I am nervous to sail with the mainsail spread if I can't reef it. And I guess I could sail on just the Genoa. I haven't really tried that before, but maybe we'll try it, motor sail with the Genoa spread. I don't know, but I've got to get up to Port Townsend. And my plan all along has been to sort of anchor around Port Townsend for a while. Um, when we bought the last boat, the Night Watch, we motored to Port Townsend, moored overnight on a platform, and then spent a couple of nights in their marina, and it was awesome. I love it up there. The people were nice. Everything was great. There's a West Marine store within walking distance and a Safeway within walking distance. There's a boating supply, marine supply store like right next to the dock, and they have a propane fill station there. Like it's everything you need for your boat is just right there. And they have all these super expensive and very busy um, like experts up there, right? You know, there's a sail maker and a rigging loft, and there's all these like businesses that work on boats. And if I had money, I might be able to hire the rigging people to do this for me. But maybe I can come to some sort of arrangement with them where I pay them for 1 hour of time and they just do like a consulting and just tell me what I need to do and then I'll do the damn thing. I don't know. But I figure there's no one here that was able to help me figure out how to rig up the boom for the reefing, so I'm going to try up there. And then if I can't get help up there, I'm just going to do my best on my own. But that's the plan. So, oh yeah, see the boat is rotated this way, is continuing to do so. The boat that was 200 feet or so away over there is about 50 feet closer. Because it doesn't rotate exactly the same as we do, that's a much smaller sailboat. It's probably half as heavy as this one. And so we move a lot less. We move a lot more slowly. That guy's swinging around and he's all over the place. Anyway, I don't know if this video makes any sense, but it's just sort of an update on what happened and where we're at. In a little while, I am going to try and do some chores and maybe accomplish one of the tasks on my list. And if anything good comes up, I will try and capture it on video, you know, like running the dinghy for the first time. You got to see this dinghy. I bought a Takacat 300, and it's a catamaran dinghy. And so the floor, it isn't on the water. It's suspended above the water between the two tubes, and it makes it very stable. They're just super badass. I love it. And it's got an electric motor, which I know people are against because it isn't powerful enough to tow the boat and all this stuff. But I mean, I don't have to have any gasoline or oil or anything for an electric motor. It either works or it doesn't. And all it needs is a battery. And I got a big old battery for it. So I should have a pretty good range on that motor. And I just charge it with a battery charger. Ooh, that's a nice boat coming up. Yeah, people are moving around now. It's must be after 9 a.m. There's boats coming in, boats going out. Oh yeah, like a little parade of big old power boats. Jesus, man. People have so much money. I wish I was one of those guys, man. They got so, I mean, I don't want that boat, but if I had that kind of money, I'll tell you, I would be on I don't know, what, a 45-foot catamaran? Well, that's probably way too big. A 40-foot catamaran right now with my own hull. Evander would have his own hull. Yeah, for sure. But it's crazy. This boat was so expensive, and yet it's probably one of the cheapest boats afloat, really. I mean, when you think about it, man, you get into a marina and it's like the Millionaires Club. Anyway, good talk.